Before we jump into its rise, we need to look back at how cannabis became illegal in the first place. In the early 20th century, marijuana was demonized through media campaigns like Reefer Madness and the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, which essentially criminalized cannabis in the U.S. The 1970s saw the launch of the War on Drugs, with President Nixon classifying marijuana as a Schedule Y drug, right alongside heroin and LSD. This made cannabis one of the most restricted substances in the world, and for decades, its legal use was almost non-existent. The tide began to turn in the 1990s. In 1996, California became the first U.S. state to legalize medical marijuana, largely thanks to the activism around AIDS and cancer treatment. For many patients, marijuana was a lifeline, relieving pain, nausea, and other symptoms when traditional medicine failed. Other states like Oregon and Washington soon followed, but it wasn't until the 21st century that cannabis really took off. In 2012, everything changed. Colorado and Washington became the first U.S. states to legalize recreational marijuana use. For the first time in nearly a century, adults could legally buy and use weed, just like alcohol. Colorado and Washington proved to be a huge success. The states saw massive tax revenues, new jobs, and even cannabis tourism. This opened the door for other states to reconsider their own cannabis policies. Since Colorado and Washington blazed the trail, over 20 U.S. states have legalized recreational cannabis, and many more have approved it for medical use. States like California, Illinois, and Michigan have since joined the green wave. Politicians, once afraid to support legalization, started to see the benefits: jobs, tax revenue, and even reduced criminal justice costs as fewer people were arrested for marijuana-related offenses. And it's not just the U.S. cannabis legalization went global in the 21st century. In 2013, Uruguay became the first country to fully legalize recreational marijuana, followed by Canada in 2018. Now countries around the world are rethinking their approach to cannabis policy. As weed became legal, an entire industry exploded. What was once a black market product became one of the fastest-growing sectors in the global economy. By 2021, the legal cannabis industry was worth over $20 billion, and it's projected to grow to over $70 billion by 2028. It's no longer just about smoking a joint. Legal cannabis now comes in all forms: edibles, oils, beverages, and even cosmetics. Cannabis culture is becoming mainstream. Medical research into cannabis has exploded in the 21st century, and while we know it has many potential benefits, we're also learning about its risks. Studies show that cannabis can help manage pain, anxiety, and other medical conditions, but it can also pose risks for young people and heavy users, like dependence or mental health issues. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.